Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about the marking period grade submission changes that Mindex has made in the latest release, which at the time of this recording is 19.1. This is going to affect our traditionally graded courses, meaning anything that grades on a 0 to 100 basis. Typically, we see this in the upper grades at the elementary or most often in our secondary courses. There will be changes coming for the elementary courses that grade on a descriptor basis. That will probably be in the spring or summer this year, if it hits this year. But we're not going to be really covering that in this video. We're just going to be talking about the 0 to 100 grading changes. Okay, so let me get into the screen. So I'm going to go there through my gradebook the traditional way and hit on submit marking period grades here. And the first thing I see when I get into the screen is that things look a little reorganized. So let's focus here on the title of the class, which has been made bigger. They also made the days that the course meets and the section number much more clear, which is great. In my database, I don't have it because I'm only attached to one course, but normally we would have that jump to here. That is still there. But they also added this new one called classes. This dropdown is only going to contain those courses that actually expect a grade. So if you're attached to any courses that are just there for a roster, maybe an after school activity, that's not going to appear in here because it's not expecting a grade. So this is going to be the one you're going to want to use to jump between different classes that you need to submit a grade in. Now the show marking period, this shows which one we are currently grading. So in my database right now, marking period 1 and 2 are both unlocked. But this is the one that's going to show us what we're currently grading. So always make sure you're on the right marking period. And the compare to has also moved a little bit. Compare to shows us the past grades and past comments from another marking period that we've already submitted things in, just to compare and contrast how the student is doing based on today. So I'm going to jump right now to marking period 2. I'm going to clear out my grades, and then we're just going to sort of start over fresh. I also have the show inactive students. This is the same button that used to be there. It's grayed out because I don't have any students that have dropped my course. The save button has also dramatically changed. It looks a little bit bigger. It's a blue button with a save icon on it now, and the clear button. A little bit different than what it used to. It used to be up here in the corner at the bottom and the top, and now it's just up here at the top. Okay, so let's take a look here. Also, my student name has changed. It's first name, last name. Used to be last name, comma, first, and that is the way it appears all the way through. So I'm going to bring in my grades from the grade book and using this button. That's the new stylized button here called Copy Grades. And as soon as I do that, I notice I've got a couple things that just changed on my screen. So I've got the submit button that's grayed out with a red error message. And that's because Reggie has 102 average in my course, and the marking period grades only accept a number between 0 and 100. So that error message happened immediately. That's one of the greatest things about this update that you'll see as we go on. It's a lot faster than it used to be. So it used to be you'd have to actually hit save, wait for the whole screen to refresh, and then maybe it would give you an error message. So yeah, it's a lot faster. So let's correct that. As soon as I backspace out the 2, the screen validates that 10 is an appropriate response. Obviously, we want to say 100 in that case for poor Reggie here, but you can see how quickly it updated itself and is ready to move on. That's great. Another thing too, that's nice. If I decided to submit a grade note, we know that we can't submit a grade and a grade note. That would be another error message that it would give you. But look what happens when I select one. It blanks out this grade that I'd already typed in, and making it so I don't ever see another error message again like that. And that's pretty great. So I'm going to set this back to none. That lets me type in here again. And we're ready to move on. Okay, so this is the past grades that I submitted for marking period 1, because that's what we're comparing to. So there's past grades and past comments. And in the middle here is my comments text box. Now there's a couple of changes here that we can see right off the bat. And that's just basically how these buttons are now stylized. But they do largely the same thing. So if I wanted to, for instance, add something from the comment bank, I still go to here if I just want to do this singly. Comment bank has changed a little bit in the interface. And that's a great thing, because that one of the things that Mindex fixed with this is the access denied error message that we would often see that would require you to basically log out and back into School Tool. Quite annoying. should be all set now. So that's great. You can also see the comment codes that are next to each one. You could see them before. It's pretty much displayed the same way as it used to be. However, in case you don't know what a comment code does, let's say in this instance, I wanted to add comment 13 and comment 17, and I already knew that those were the comment codes, or I could print this out and reference it that way. But let's do comment 1-3 space, comment 1-7, and then I'm going to hit the green plus to add my comments, and then they just pop in like that. So that is one way you can use the comment bank without even using that little interface. But if I did want to use the interface, one other thing that they changed is it now respects how many comment bank comments you can submit. So I'm going to go through here and notice that all of a sudden, all of the other boxes are now gray. So I can select one more, and then that way it doesn't cut me off. So sometimes the comment bank text box would let you choose as many comments as you wanted. Then it would just pick a random number of comments because it would respect the maximum when you actually hit submit or when we got back to the window. That's no longer the case. So that's a nice little feature. I go ahead and add my comments and they pop in immediately. You also notice too, when I've got my comments in here, let me just add them back one more time. And we're going to hit add, that the free text comment box is now gone because I'm only allowed to submit not a combination of, it's just the 4 comments or text. Now I can still do, if I delete one of those comments, I can have free text again one more time. That's just respecting that there's a maximum of how many characters we can display, especially on the traditional report cards. You don't have a lot of space to put too much of a narrative there. So it's just nice that this interface is now respecting that a lot better than it used to be. It was a lot more confusing. So if I wanted to type my free text, I can just say, here's my comment. All right. I can still click on the spell check, which works the same way as it did before, pops open the box, and then it will look through the comments. It may not be working in this database at the moment, sorry, but normally just, oh, there it goes. It pops up the little free text, or it checks the free text comment that I typed, then it dismisses the box. I can just add my comment that way. And again, the free text comment box goes away because I'm at my maximum in this particular database. One other thing you can use that hasn't changed from previous iterations of School Tool is this apply all comments feature. So if I say, typing in a comment, and then I'm just gonna, maybe I'm working on each one individually. Some teachers like to work like this if they're, typing an individual comment for each one, and then maybe you're about to get interrupted, so you just want to add them all real quick and save your work. You can hit this button here that says apply all comments, and it will apply everything that's pending in these comment boxes for you. It is a nice feature. Another thing is mass entering free text. And mass entering of free text used to be, we would just type something in the first comment box, hit this button, and then it would apply it all the way down. That has changed. So now to mass add free text, I'm going to mouse over this button here, click it, and then enter my comments. I'm going to hit the green plus, or I can hit spell check just to make sure. Maybe hit that first, and then hit the green plus to add the comments. And then I'm going to add all the comments all the way down. So that is how it has changed just a little bit. Make sure you hit this button first, type in your comments, hit the green plus, then add your comments all the way down. And this button is the mass comment bank. This works the same way as it always has. If I wanted to add a couple comments, hit that, it applies it all the way down. Great. Now to submit my grades, I want to show you just how quick this actually is. That's as quick as it is, and that's how fast it goes. So it used to be, sometimes we'd wait forever while we waited for the screen to refresh and reload. This is one of the speed performance increases that they have made in this area. Really nice. So that's largely all of the changes that have happened. There is one more change, and it's sometimes you would be working in this area and you might get interrupted, because that never happens, to get taken away from your work. And you would come back to the screen, and maybe School Tool had logged you out. It would look like it was still logged in, and you'd be working on everything. You'd hit submit, and then it would just give you an error message or return you back to the login screen. Mindex has removed the timeout from the screen, and that means it will never log you out anymore out of the screen. This is a double-edged sword. It's really great for you, so you can take all the time that you need to put in all of your comments, to submit your grades correctly, because that's really, really important. But it's also important for you to leave the screen when you're done, because if it's going to leave you logged in forever, that's a security risk. So we don't want anybody else to be able to come up to your computer if you left it on the screen and just hit home or do anything else in your grade book or do anything else in your account. So make sure that you're still saving often, just in case, because you could still have an internet outage or anything else, a power outage, especially now that we're in winter, or anything like that come into log you out of the system. But if left alone, the system will not log you out as long as you are in the screen. So please be careful with that feature. Enjoy it, but be careful. Okay. That's basically all of the changes that they've made to the marking period grade submissions screen at this point for Mindex and School Tool in version 19.1. My name is Darcie LaPatra-French. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out at the RIC. Other than that, thank you very much for watching and have a great day.